Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 25 to 30.
Hello, how can I help you?
Good morning, Professor Ridley. My name is Susan Brown, and my friend's name is Jake Greenfield. Sorry to barge in like this without an appointment, but we've come to find out about the university's master's course in political science.
What would you like to know?
For a start, I suppose we'll need some information about the entrance exam, since your secretary says that we have to pass it to get onto the course.
That's right, but don't worry. Preparing for the exam is relatively simple. All you have to do is buy some books, study on your own, and come to the university on the right day to sit the exam. The exam is in about a month's time, on June 14th to be exact. Do you have the required reading list?
No. How many books will we have to get?
Just 4, but one of them is quite long, around 500 pages. Here are the titles.
Can you give us an idea of what the books are about?
I don't have much time, so I'll be very brief. Let's see. The one you should begin reading first is Introduction to Political Science. I'd say this is a good foundation, as it covers the scope, function and goals of our course, and also how political science relates to other branches of knowledge.
What a coincidence! We were just discussing that same thing with your secretary.
Second on the list is Theories of Government and Politics. This is the long one, unfortunately.
Around 500 pages, you said.
Yes, but I can tell you which the most important sections are. You won't have to study all of them.
That's a relief.
The book that appeals to students most is number 3 on the list. The History of Political Thought. It covers the development of political thought from the ancient Greeks to the present day. It's very well written and doesn't go into too much detail, so it's very easy to understand.
That might be interesting.
I believe there's been a change concerning the final book on the reading list. So scratch out the 4th one, Power and Politics. Edith, do you know what the final decision was about the 4th book?
Yes, Professor. They've decided on international relations, power and justice. It's a rather expensive one, unfortunately, but it might be available in the university's second-hand bookshop.
And it's also the one you'll find most complicated because it's full of financial terms and theories. But don't worry, not everything in there is important to know for the examination either.
That's nice to know.
Quite, but if I were in your shoes, I would start studying as soon as possible because there's a lot of material to cover in a month.
Do you know if they have any of these books at the university library?
Last year, they were all available as reference books, so they do have them, but you aren't allowed to check them out of the library.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I really must go because I have a class.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for your time, Professor Ridley.
Professor, we'll get the books by the end of the week. Could we make an appointment with you early next week so we can look through the material with you? And then you can point out the most important sections in each book for us.
Of course. Just speak to Edith, my secretary. She'll tell you when I'm free.
Thanks again, Professor.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4.